Hello, hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? Few designs back again with another one. In this training course, in the previous one, as you remember, we did the detailing of the distal limbs. I hope you enjoyed it. And in this one, we'll be switching up gears and we'll be going into the last bit and doing the feet. So without any further ado, let's get blocking. All right. Well, as always, the features that we don't need to have active, we can deactivate, so we can work with as minimal disruption as possible and helping our computer's performance. That is the whole purpose of why I'm showing you this method of working, is that when I first started working out, guys, I had like the trashiest computer on the planet probably, and I didn't know these methods back then. So I used to struggle, man. I would sculpt and then have to get to a point where I would stop my sculpts just because I couldn't get the detailing in. So trust me, all of this stuff is golden that you're learning here. It is golden. I'm sure most sculptors out there would agree with me. They had to struggle and fight to learn these things and find the most effective ways to work. So here you are. You're welcome. You're getting all of these cool little secrets for free. I think tutorials should be worth something, worth learning. And this is the best way I know how. Yeah, actually wasn't even gonna do this. Didn't think I'd want to be a social media light, and here I am flipping doing tutorials. Pretty cool. God's good. God is good. And alright, so as always, rounded cube, radius of 1, 20 subdivisions, just the perfect number to work with. I'm not certain why, but I just like it. You just click away so it can get rid of the dialog box. I don't always have it. And forgive me for forgetting my screencast keys here, and we should be good to go now. Okay, we are working with the plantar. Let's go with the left view actually, and while we're at it, let me remove actually that's such a stupid way to go about it. Deactivate the mirror modifier and go into our left view. There we go. Okay, so now we have our sole. Let me just check something. We'll need a good ground game to understand where we'll put the bottom of it. I think let's just make it the bottom of the sphere to begin with, so we'll know that that's the bottom of our foot. The lateral malleolus, which is essentially the little bone that sticks out on the side. This is the medial, I assume it's called the medial. The medial malleolus. Anything towards the middle of your body is called, like normally the titles of that part will be called medial, and anything that's away will be called lateral. So this would be the medial malleolus, and that's our base sphere that we're going to work with, and we're only going to use one to get this blocking out. I'm not sure if it is the best way to go about it, but I'm thinking it might be a good way to work with this. In fact, let's actually switch things up. While we're working, let's move this over. We'll somewhat just use 2 of them. Let's just see how that works. It just, in my head, it does seem like it will work out better. G for the G brush, and we will grab the top of it and extend it out, and extend for the heel or calcaneal. Calcaneal is the scientific term for it. Us normal human beings refer to it as the heel of the foot. Will protrude from here, and we just want to get it to have just enough protrusion on it. Don't want too much, and we want it to look good. And as always, work with reference. I will always be switching back and forth using reference, trying to find the best way, the most accurate way to sculpt. I think it's just a necessary thing. If you want to get better, this is the way to go about it. It's helping me a great deal, guys. You will not believe it. It's really helping me a lot. And we'll just switch into the back view. I didn't mean to press escape there. I was meant to press the tilde key, and from there let's just grab out a little bit here. Not fully necessary, but okay. Now we get to extend our cochineal a bit, and grab brush and just fill out a little bit more of this volume as well. I hope I've got a good foot for reference for this. I hope it'll work out pretty well. And otherwise, you can always palpate your own foot. Like I say, your own body is a good reference for work. You don't need to always download or have external references. You can just use your own body, and that'll be good enough. Then we press I for the inflate brush and get a bit of rotation. There's my middle mouse button, my mouse wheel not responding, so we can just go up to the gizmos. The plus side of this, it really teaches you creative ways to kind of overcome these challenges, which is pretty cool. Like I'll always have to figure kind of the best ways or the easiest ways I can get the same job done without having a functioning tool. I find that to be pretty cool. And yes, I'm a freestyler, I'm a poet, and I know it. You hear it. I'm kidding, guys. Okay, let's not let this take too long. Let's try and let's go to the bottom view actually. Let me get a bit more focused. So I just had a little round of dribbling the ball outside, a little bit of b-ball, just for fitness. I wasn't feeling too well, and I'm not feeling too hot right now, guys, but feeling a lot better now that I'm working and knowing that I'm presenting this for a community that might care to actually check this out. It makes it worthwhile and allows me to just go the extra mile as well. And there we go, and we're gonna yank this out to get our beautiful plantar going of the foot. Plantar refers to the flat end of your foot overall. It's made up of many segments. The best summation I can have for you is you have your tarsals, which is pretty much this back region here, and then you have your metatarsals, which would be the center of the foot region. That's where you get these bony extensions that will eventually carry out into your phalanges, aka your toes. And that's about the gist of the foot's anatomy and how it breaks down. Questions? I doubt you'll have any, but do look this stuff up for yourselves, guys. It's very useful. It is very good. It's made. I haven't created a sculpt as good as this one because I normally kind of shortcut certain things. So just the mere fact of working with reference all the way and from the foundation of anatomy, not just a human figure to copy, but to have the entire foundation available to you is quite an important thing, I came to realize. And now getting to this part of the foot, we will need to go check for, in terms of lengthwise, if it's good. I can't really see properly from the bottom view, so let's just rotate out, and I think that's a decent length foot ish. Let me see. With the phalanges, we will be somewhere about yay in length. I think that'll leave it a little bit too small. So let's just get into this bottom view. Enlarge the grab brush just so we can move like the entire thing, entire foot, and not just segments of it. And come back here into our right view. Change objects, and we can just click and drag and extend our foot and add in some of this top volume. There we go. Not bad, not bad at all, not bad at all. Nice. There we go. Perfect. Alright, now we can switch to the metatarsal region of the foot, and just get a little bit of better joining towards these ends. Try to get it to be as even to the base, to the calcaneal end of it. Yeah, just get it to be smooth, get it to be extra smooth, get it to be Vaseline. You know what I mean? There we go. Okay, not too bad. And let's just extend there a little bit, and this will be space for our phalanxes, which is pretty cool. I like that word, phalanx. And let's just quickly add in our other rounded cubes so we can block out these very same phalanges that we're talking about. Let's go into the bottom view and press G, and this will connect directly from within edge. Let me just scale it up slightly, and then shift duplicate. This is the first toe. Ironically, the big toe is considered the first toe on the body medically, which is pretty cool. I actually like that. It's a very cool concept of it. And shift, we're gonna give them a little bit of spacing, not too much. Shift duplicate and add our third and our fourth, scale down from this one, and shift duplicate, and we'll add the small toe, fifth. And now with each one, shift duplicate and add one more section, small toe. We don't have to go that far as an extension, as we know. And then shift duplicate. So I want to place these where the what we'll call, I guess, the knuckles of each one of these toes is, or is the right term. And this one, and shift duplicate. And for the big toe, for the distal phalanx. And by the way, the phalanx only has 2 bones, very similar to our hands. So like, it's literally just a weird hand. When you're looking at the foot, it functions no differently. There we go. Now from the front view, we'll need to adjust these. Let's go to the front view, and we'll just let's do it from these ones. GZ to account for the change in angle. Because as always, just like with the hands, you have like this kind of slight downward arch. GZ and shift. Wait, just go a little bit lower. Shift GZ, and there we go. You know what? Let me try and aim to GZ a bit. We'll just restructure it a little bit to get as close to the bottom as possible without having to lift those too much. So we'll have to lift the calcaneal a little bit, the tarsals, the tarsal section of the foot, section is the right word, segment, let's call it either one of those. And then GZ a little bit there, and shift and GZ, just make sure, perfect. And then GZ and drop this one. I think for the most part, let's keep that a bit higher. There we go. Okay, then what we'll do here is let's control save. We'll grab all of these, go into sculpt mode, and just extend, and we'll use these to shape the ends with the nails. And extend. There we go. By the way, the smaller toes, the smaller phalanxes, they all have 3 sections, but while sculpting You kind of don't create that. I don't know if you understand what I mean. You don't add that within the mesh itself. Just scale that up a little bit, just so it won't drag out any more than we need. There we go. Just give that one an extension a bit there, and sculpt mode. Perfect. And just go into the right view, top view, and shift it sideways. There we go. And finally, top view, and we could isolate these, but it's really not all that important at this point. Okay, perfect. Now we get into the same rhythm we had when we were working on the hands. We'll add the boolean modifier. Click on union, and drop eon, and select eon, exact eon, Control A, and it's applied, and that is unified. X delete, and let's stick with our general functions and do the titling prior to. So there we go. Then we'll just select these and Control J, and select these and Control J. We might have a tough time actually sculpting between these gaps here, but it's a fun challenge. It might be best to actually sculpt these separately. We'll add boolean to this one and unionize it to this. So it's killing it a bit on performance there. It had to do a little bit of a calculation, and that's where the power of the method we're working with comes in, is that it would have to do a whole lot more work otherwise if we weren't working in this with this as a method. So keep that in mind. And with that being said, there's our block out for the foot. See you guys in the next one, where we'll start sculpting in the detail. I think it looks pretty good so far as is. Looks like you'll be able to stand on those legs. Solid. Alright, cheers guys. GG, God's good.